People is concerned about the future of WNBA star Sophie Cunningham. It's turning into a trending topic, and everyone online is talking about will she continue her WNBA career after her newfound fame in society, being nothing more but a social media influencer, now an activist. Will Sophie Cunningham hang up the basketball sneakers for a new career? And I just got to give you guys my personal opinion. I do not believe she will. See, without basketball,
Sophie Cunningham's future with the Indiana Fever has suddenly become a major topic of discussion. Her growing popularity, outspoken views, and huge attention on social media have led many fans to wonder what comes next. Some online voices are even questioning whether she will remain in the WNBA beyond this season.
We're now saying Sophie Cunningham might be released from her team at the end of the season. Her future is subtly in doubt. Interesting. Does anyone seriously doubt this isn't because of her supporting women's sports?
The controversy began after Cunningham publicly shared her views about women's sports and protecting female athletes. Her comments sparked strong reactions from both supporters and critics. Instead of backing away from what she said, Cunningham made it clear that she was standing by her beliefs.
To make matters worse, the WNBA is potentially about to make what I believe is a monumental mistake. Headline at Yahoo Sports: Sophie Cunningham's future in the WNBA could be in jeopardy. We are getting rid of homophobia. We are eliminating woke welfare for women who refuse to share a locker room with masculinity. Just to be clear, these are rumors. This is speculation, but it's speculation supported by circumstantial evidence. Even though she is loved and respected by normal people, Sophie Cunningham isn't exactly respected by some of her colleagues in the WNBA. From the league's perspective, I'm sure Sophie Cunningham is a nightmare.
What makes the situation even more interesting is the growing attention surrounding her wherever the Fever play. In Toronto, fans loudly booed Cunningham whenever she touched the ball. But rather than getting distracted, she answered with her performance and knocked down 3 three-pointers.
An interview with ESPN where she said she wants to, quote, protect women's sports from trans athletes. You are obsessed with trans people. You are constantly thinking about trans people. And instead of calling it obsession, you call it moral code. Get fucked. After getting backlash for parroting transphobic talking points, she doubled down by posting on Instagram with the caption, "I said what I said, big tough girl." Sophie backtracked this week and said that she doesn't want to talk about her dangerous comments, that she only wants to get back to basketball. She's such a pick-me. There has to be a better word for pick-me because it is like venereal nearly. You're willing to sell out little girls so you can get a few comments and you can get a few views. You know what she is? You know that movie Tall Girl on Netflix? She's like if Tall Girl was evil and if Tall Girl was produced by Tucker Carlson.
After the game, Cunningham's response surprised plenty of people. Instead of attacking the crowd, she praised the atmosphere and said passionate fans are part of what makes sports special. Her calm reaction quickly became another talking point across social media.
Let me remind you how Sophie Cunningham and her supporters have been treated over the last month. Teenage girls were verbally berated and cussed out by a co-owner of the Seattle Storm sitting courtside. A mother and daughter attending the Fever vs. Dream game in Atlanta that spent thousands of dollars on tickets were told they needed to cover up their XXXY Athletics t-shirts because they were deemed offensive. You have pro-trans protesters outside of the arena berating Sophie Cunningham supporters. Sophie Cunningham has been relentlessly booed in every single arena except her own over the last month. And teams have gone out of their way to promote transgenderism, whether it's the companion cam, whether it's allowing messages specifically to trans Liberty fans, whether that is introducing brand new mascots, one of them having she, they pronouns, you name it. But the WNBA wants you to think that conservatives and Enes Kanter freedom are the problem. If you simply affirmed that the W in the WNBA stands for woman and is defined by an adult human female, this whole issue would be done. But you refuse to do it. The people that have been mistreated the most during the last month have been Sophie Cunningham and her support.
The controversy also reached the stands in Seattle, where teenage fans reportedly faced confrontation while showing support for Cunningham. The incident eventually resulted in league discipline involving a Storm co-owner. Suddenly, a debate that started with one athlete's comments had expanded into a much bigger conversation about fans, teams, and free expression.
On that same vein, in that story with ESPN, you talked about wanting to protect young girls who shouldn't have to go against biological men. Just can you expand your viewpoint on that?
I mean, I think I said what I said. I think it's kind of common sense. And I think I'll always believe in that. I think it's really important to protect children. And that's little girls who are also involved in that category. And so I stand on what I said, and I always believe that.
Yeah. Do you see your advocacy on that, like, taking any form going forward?
You know, I don't know. I'm not a very political person, but I do have beliefs. I have morals, and I'll always stand on those and be true to who I am. And I think people are going to take it how they want to take it, but I've never even really said anything about that. And so when it comes just to protecting young girls in sport and women in sport, I feel very strongly about that. I think that's why you have Title IX. That's why you have some of the greats in women's sports. If Title IX and women's sports weren't protected, then you wouldn't hear about any type of women in sport. And so I think in the future, it's just really...
Meanwhile, questions have continued about how the Indiana Fever view the situation. Some reports and online speculation claim the organization could consider moving on from Cunningham. However, those claims should be treated as rumors unless the team officially confirms them.
Sophie Cunningham in the WNBA has been attacked as a MAGA Barbie for saying it's common sense for men to not be in women's sports and locker rooms. Is the president following this story, and has he reached out to her?
I don't believe he has reached out to her. I know he is following the story. As you know, this is something the president feels strongly about as well, and the American people do too. That men should not be playing in women's sports. It's completely ludicrous that anyone could support that. It's even more ludicrous that you do have Sophie Cunningham, a female athlete herself, very accomplished in her own right, coming forth and speaking that truth that men shouldn't play in women's sports. We want to protect women and girls, and the backlash she is receiving from Democrats and left-wing thinkers across the country is astonishing. They are clearly very out of touch with the American public on this issue, which again is an 80-20 issue. It's common sense. It's rooted in basic biological facts that men should not be competing against women on playing fields.
From a basketball perspective, Cunningham still brings plenty of value. She is known for her three-point shooting, physical style of play, and ability to energize a crowd. Her rising popularity has also made her one of the more recognizable personalities connected to the Fever.
So a couple weeks ago, Sophie Cunningham said that men should not play in the WNBA, and apparently people are still mad about it. A lot of fans in Toronto were booing her, and every time she touched the ball, you heard this.
Hearing the boos as she touches it, gets that playoff race when you just look at how tight.
But just a minute after she checked in, she already silenced the crowd.
Deep three. You bet.
And look at her celebration towards the crowd. I'm still kind of confused why people are mad about what she said.
15 of them in the game.
Cunningham has repeatedly emphasized that her position is about women's sports and that she does not believe it means hostility toward transgender people. She has also said she wants people to have room for different beliefs. That message has done little to end the debate, but it explains why she continues to defend her position.
By a reporter about some of the boos. People were booing her, obviously, because people suck. Like, what's her reaction to people in the audience who are booing her? And she is just so centered, you know what I mean? And normal. And that, at this point, is worth celebrating.
I want to shout out the Tempo crowd in the city. I think we've had so much fun. It's my first time being in Canada. It's a lot of our first times being in Canada. But the crowd was absolutely amazing. And, you know, I think that's what sports is all about. You're going to get boos, you're going to get cheers. But just the fact that they're so passionate, they're loud, and they're putting on for the city, I think it's amazing. So shout out to you guys for coming out and supporting.
I love her. I have the biggest crush on her right now, you guys.
Yeah, she's amazing. Like, she's the kind of role model you want your daughter.
Now the biggest question is whether the controversy will have any effect on her basketball career. Is this simply a temporary media storm, or could it influence her future with Indiana? At this point, there is no confirmed answer, and much of the discussion online remains speculation.
The WNBA team owner cussed out these two 16-year-old girls for supporting Sophie Cunningham. These two girls were sitting courtside at last night's Fever Storm game in Seattle, holding a sign that said, "Thank you, Sophie, for speaking up for girls." But it didn't last long because team minority owner Celeste Keaton came up to them to let them know what she thought. She told the girls, "Jesus loves everybody, and I hope he can forgive you for what you have done." She called them effing insane and said, "God help you." They were asked to take their sign down. You're not allowed to have political signs at WNBA games. But do you know who wasn't bothered? The person next to them. Or these people in the stands. The girls were also berated by this grown man in the stands, shouting to security to take out the trash. The Seattle Storm majority owner issued a half-hearted apology on behalf of the minority owner. There's a circulating report that that owner has also been fined and suspended from attending games. Sophie Cunningham has heard about all this, thanked the girls for standing up, and said they'll be hearing from her soon. She also called the actions of the minority owner embarrassing. But if you go to a WNBA game, be careful what signs you bring, because there's a fine line between what's not allowed and what is.
Whatever happens next, Sophie Cunningham has clearly become much more than just another WNBA player in the public conversation. She has faced cheers, boos, political attention, and intense debate while continuing to play. If the Fever eventually make a decision about her future, fans will be watching closely to see whether basketball, or the surrounding controversy,